Women in media sleeping their way up to the top? Say it ain't so. So apparently it's not just Diddy engaging in these freak-offs, but recently Fox Sports personalities Joy Taylor as well as Skip Bayless were hit with a lawsuit, wide-ranging allegations, including workplace misconduct as well as sexual allegations. We're going to go through it, including some of the responses on social media and the historical context, which is going to paint a fair light on the current situation. So without further ado, Fox Sports personalities Joy Taylor, Skip Bayless, and Executive Vice President Charlie Dixon have been named in a lawsuit alleging this misconduct, including sexual harassment, assault, and improper use of authority to exploit employees. The lawsuit, which was filed by former Fox Sports hairstylist, it's always the hairstylist, Nanshin Faraji, who worked with the network from 2012 to 2024. The allegations are detailed across 14 claims, including 6 class action complaints and 8 individual complaints. And in case you're wondering what she looks like, here goes the hairstylist right here. I actually found her Instagram as well. And here is her Instagram, currently at 3,000 followers. And if you scroll down, you can see her advertising her hairstyling on different Fox Sports anchors in the past. So first, let's go over the allegations against Skip Bayless. So Skip Bayless, best known for his role as the co-host of FS1's Undisputed, is accused of engaging in a pattern of inappropriate behavior towards the hairstylist over several years. According to the lawsuit, Bayless allegedly made repeated advances, including offering her $1.5 million for favors, claiming that he could change her life and provide her with financial security.
My turn! You told me it was my turn.
Damn, Skip, I know it's your turn, but this one's not looking good. But what I will say is that it should be easy to disprove this one unless she has the receipts, right? An audio recording or text messages equaling out to $1.5 million. But when you're in a position as Skip Bayless, you should never be acting as a person of power who also works with you and telling them that you can change their life, because they can come back at any time and said that I was coerced into doing things. The complaint also details physical misconduct, including allegations that Bayless hugged her inappropriately and pressed against her despite clear objections. At one point, Bayless allegedly insinuated that Faraji was romantically involved with his former co-host Shannon Sharpe, creating further discomfort and unease. Sheesh. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, these things about the hug inappropriately, right? Like, this is not as serious as offering 1.5 for sexual favors, right? This is the potential serious thing here that they're going to have to prove. Let's move on to Charlie Dixon. Charlie Dixon, Fox Sports Executive Vice President, is a central figure in the lawsuit. Okay. Faraji claims that during a Fox Sports birthday party, Dixon grabbed her buttocks without her consent. This incident, she alleges, was emblematic of a broader culture of harassment within the network. Faraji says she reported the incident to Joy Taylor, one of the network's prominent hosts, but claims Taylor dismissed her concerns, reportedly advising her, "Bitch, get over it." This alleged response has drawn criticism, with many pointing to the need for stronger support systems for employees reporting misconduct. Now, here's where the allegations get especially interesting, and it's not just because it's a woman accusing a woman of something, but because generally when you see these class action lawsuits against major corporations, networks, entities, usually it's against all men, and including a woman. Some people say it's done in order to hedge the idea that this is all bullshit, it's all made up. So adding a woman to the lawsuit increases the plausibility that all of this is accurate. Anyway, let's get into Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor, a 37-year-old host on FS1 and a key face of the network, is also named in the lawsuit. Okay. Faraji alleges that Taylor was romantically involved with former NFL player and Fox Sports analyst Emmanuel Aiko and engaged in an relationship with Dixon, the producer, to secure her position at the network. Say it ain't so. Joy. If what's alleged here is true, this is absolutely nasty work. Not only is she screwing her way up to the top, but she's doing it with employees of power that currently work there, shitting where you eat. And some people may be unfamiliar with who Emmanuel is outside of sports, but he actually went viral a couple of years ago for these episodes up on YouTube, up on his YouTube channel, titled Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. He's about to have a few uncomfortable conversations coming up here in the future.
Done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show.
Look at the amount of times he's smelling his finger. It's almost like, when you go get that amazing cat and then you smelling your finger all the way home. Like trying to reminisce.
Sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in?
Oh, how hard is the position?
So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports.
Shut up.
But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight.
What type of position was it, Emmanuel? Was it doggy? Was it missionary? You tell us. What's hilarious about this is that these are the same wokey type conversations that push these ideals of boss bae out into the ethos. Meanwhile, they're stroking them, allegedly, behind scenes. For all the women that watch this content, this is why we speak so adamantly against this bullshit, because it's just not true. So while he's touting boss babe and she's wearing it like a badge of honor, actually, he's just stroking her behind scenes. Allowing your cheeks to get clapped on the way to the top, allegedly, is diabolical work. Now, what's also interesting regarding all these allegations is the time which it is alleged, because Joy Taylor was married for a year from 2016 to 2017. And she got engaged to former NBA star and coach Earl Watson back in 2018. She was apparently extremely busy in this time period. The lawsuit also claims that once Dixon was no longer beneficial to Taylor's career, she accused him of assault to distance herself and protect her reputation. Now, it's one thing to have allegations of sleeping your way up to the top, and to a degree, if there's two consenting adults, you technically can do that. Is it morally correct? Absolutely not. But I have way less of a problem with that than falsely accusing someone of assault and a power move to get them off of your back. A definitive move from the handbook, How to Destroy a Man Now. Essentially, this book teaches women how to utilize sexual misconduct allegations from powerful men to get your way. I'm not saying that the Dixon fellow is innocent in all of this. What I'm saying is that this is just messed up. Faraji claims suggest a complex and troubling dynamic in which Taylor allegedly exploited her sexuality to advance professionally while failing to support colleagues facing harassment. So what has been Fox Sports' response? So they have acknowledged the lawsuit, but have refrained from providing detailed comments citing the ongoing legal proceedings. No response yet from Dixon, from Joy Taylor, or Skip Bayless as of yet. In a brief statement, the network emphasizes commitment to maintaining a respectful and safe workplace while promising to take the allegations seriously. Now, as you can imagine, social media is going absolutely off with the mockery, with the roasting, and we're going to get into some of the clips that have just recently resurfaced. But before that, I wanted to get into the actual lawsuit. Miss Taylor again uses her sexuality to get on a show. Not again. In approximately February of 2020, Miss Taylor asked Mrs. Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Mrs. Taylor with a man, Emmanuel. All right. Miss Faraji did not know Emmanuel, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. A few months after the meeting, Mr. Akko at the lunch, Mr. Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Akko also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Akko to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Mrs. Taylor that she should probably not sleep with both Mr. Dixon and Mr. Akko at the same damn time. Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Miss Taylor told her, don't worry about it. She explained that she was now also powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she will follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. Just think about the deviousness of this. Like, not only are you going to utilize your looks in order to get into, spaces that other women would not be able to get into, but then at the point that you get there and then allegedly sleep your way up to the top, and then in a show of force and domination, you're going to levy false accusation. I mean, it's absolutely insane what's happening here.
You brought that up. I do want to know this part, like the gift and the curse of pretty privilege, right? Because not everybody on TV looks a certain way, right? And I do want to ask you that, like I was telling them before you got here, we just have like an innocent conversation. And I was like, sometimes, right, I be in the workplace or just hanging out, and a real gorgeous girl, she's toying with me, and like she's getting away with it. Like, for example, I might be asking her a question about something, and she's having her way with me. Like, basically, I'm going to say yes because I'm in her presence. Does that make sense? She's playing with the hair. She's chewing the gum a little harder than normal. And I'm all like, yeah, like, yes. So I want to ask you, like, in the workplace, right? Like, what's the gift and the curse of being like a gorgeous woman in this game?
I think that the gift is, obvious.
What's obvious?
Well, I mean, if you look a certain way, you have access to different things. I mean, that's how it works in the world.
To get stroked out by the
executive? I don't think that's news to anybody. So the gift is, okay, you have access to certain places. Okay, you walk up to the front door at the club, you get in. You don't have to pay for things. The guys always joke with me now,
like a DJ, like, yo, come on, you and your friends, come on. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's fine. That has its perks. In college, I would go out without any money and eat dinner and drink all night and get home safely. And I literally would not bring money with me. Because why would I need money?
But what about in
now, in the workplace.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think being traditionally good looking or whatever, because I always want to make sure that I preface it with that. I guess there's people out there who don't think that I'm attractive, and that's fine.
Oh, I never met none of them people.
I don't either. But they'll be in the comments letting you know that. So for those people, don't worry. But for everybody else, there are advantages to it. And also, I work in a visual medium. We work on television. So there's a reason that we have a hair and makeup department, a wardrobe department. There's a reason why they put together marketing campaigns and they do Photoshop for the posters. Like, it's a visual medium. You're engaging people with that aesthetic. So that has advantages for sure. I think the negative part of it is particularly being a woman, because, there's good-looking men in television as well, and that has advantages.
For sure.
But being a woman is, sometimes people think that because you're being engaging, or you're looking them in the eye, or you're laughing at their jokes, or you're being kind, or giving them natural, normal attention, the imagination is, oh, she must be into me.
Oh, she's feeling me.
Oh, she's feeling me.
Okay.
When in fact, I'm really just literally speaking to you.
While I give her credit for acknowledging, even though she beat around the bush, acknowledging that being pretty has given her privileges within life, what I find hilarious is that she's taking what he just said and then she's juxtaposing herself as to say, well, she does some of those things too, but it's misinterpreted. Meanwhile, through these allegations, we see that she was actually utilizing that to her advantage.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right. You couldn't say no, huh? Nasty work, baby girl. You had to do twice the work to have the same opportunities. Incredible. I have a prediction within all of this. If this lawsuit goes through, I think that she is going to implicate the Dixon guy in those original allegations in order to save face, because we hear things like this, that she couldn't say no. But the writing was actually always on the wall. She told us a couple of months ago how she thinks and how she moves.
These hypotheticals have got us in a chokehold, and we must free ourselves. It's fun to argue about. It's fun to talk about what you would do in this scenario, or would you leave the game if the seats were high, or if a man took you this place on a first date, what you would do. And I'm telling you, like, every interaction that I have with people now, in some way or another, these things come up. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want.
Hello.
Fine, funny, fucking money.
Yeah, all of that.
You're throwing all
standards,
boundaries
out the window. Yep.
All that shit you talked on Instagram.
All of that.
How you would never, and this woman ain't because women this and men this. You're moving forward with this person.
Yeah, because, that effing money component, right? Yeah, of course. I've been a morally responsible person throughout my life, but look at that position up there. It's vacant. Who do I gotta fuck in order to get... Allegedly. It is incredible and hilarious to listen to comments like this now in context of what this lawsuit alleges. But guys, let me know what you think about this particular piece of news and content. Let me know. Write me a comment down below so we can have a conversation about it. And last but not least, shout out to #MeToo, okay? While we can logically conclude that there are some men out there with money, power, wealth, status that will utilize that in order to get the draws of the woman that they want, you must also acknowledge that there are women out there that will sleep all the way to the top. They have no qualms about doing it. Maybe somewhere in their corrupt soul, they have a moral nodule that's saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. But all in all, they're fine with doing it. And then once they attain some semblance of power, will utilize methods such as lying about sexual assault in order to exact revenge. You cannot acknowledge one without the other, because that would make you biased. All right, guys, drop your comments down below. What do you think? And until next time, YouTube. Peace.